Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Yeah, remember we were seeing the lifespans and then we haven't finished them. So remember we had the human lifespan that fluctuates, remember? Fluctuates between asankhya and 10 years and 10 years to asankhya again, right? Then we had the lifespan in the divine realms of the Kama Bhumi, right? They are fixed, right? Except for some Bhuma Devas. Bhuma Devas, they can live 7 days, 2 weeks, even the entire Kappa. Kappa here actually was not mentioned what type of Kappa. I think it means the Ayu Kappa of the Deva realm. Okay? So, and then we had Chatmaharajika. What was the lifespan? Remember 500 day, one human day is 50 divine years, right? Sorry, 50 human years is one divine day in Chatmaharajika, right? And they lived for 500 divine years. That was 9 million human years. And then we multiply by 2, right? The way time passes, and their lifespan multiplies by 2. And so in the end we have multiplied by 4 according to human reckoning, right? Human reckoning. Yes, reckoning. Human reckoning. Human reckoning. So what is, for example, the lifespan of the Chatmaharajika according to human reckoning? 9 million years, right? Okay. Then multiply by 4, by 4, by 4. So according to their own experience, it's 500 years. Then Tavatinsa, 1,000 years. Yama, 2,000 years. Tusita, 4,000 years. Nimmanarati, 8,000 years. And Paranimitta Vasavati, 16,000 years. Yes. And then we went to first jhanas, right? And then we don't count in years anymore. We count according to Mahakappa, right? Actually, the first jhana is according to Asankhya Kappa, no? A third of an Asankhya Kappa is Brahma Parisajja. Then Brahma Purohita, half Asankhya Kappa. Half Asankhya Kappa. And Mahabrahma, 1 Asankhya Kappa. And then second jhana, 2 Mahakappas. Now we go to Mahakappas. So 2 Mahakappas. And then we go again multiplying by 2, right? So it was 2 Mahakappas, and then that was Paritabba. Appamanabha, 4. Abhasara, 8. Parita Subha, 16. Appamana Subha, 32, right? 32. And Subhakinha, 64. Yes. And then now we enter the 4th jhana. 4th jhana, there is a good jump, remember? 64, I think it goes to 500, right? There was a huge jump, no? So, Subhakinha, Vihapala, 500, Asanyasata also 500, And then we had, huh? Suddhavasa. We have Aviha, Tapa, Sudasa, Sudasya, Kanita. So Aviha was 1,000. Aviha. Atapa, 2,000. Sudasa, 4,000. Sudasi, 8,000. Akanitaka, 16,000 Mahakapas. Okay. Now we come to Akasa Nanchayatana. Akasa Nanchayatana. We have Vinyananchayatana, Akinchanyayatana, and Nevasanyasanyayatana. Right? So the last Rupa Vachra was 16,000 Mahakapas. Right? This was the last Rupa. Rupa Vachra. Last Rupa Vachra. So from 16, you jump to 20. 20,000 Mahakapas. This one is 40. This one is 60. And this one is 84. Okay? Thousands, okay? Thousands. K is thousands. Mahakapas. Yes. Okay? So here it jumps by 20. The last one, 24. The longest lifespan in samsara, no? 84,000 Mahakapas. Do you want? What? What? This lifespan? I think this is not working, no? No battery. Okay? So this is the Arupa lifespan. And then this is not given according to the human reckoning. Yeah, we don't count it. No, it's too much. The simile for Mahakapa is, remember, one mountain, 1 yojana per 1 yojana per 1 yojana. Yes. And every 100 years you take a silken cloth and you brush it. Yes. It's red. Huh? I don't know where it is. I have it here. Maybe later I give it to you. The name. Another simile was, imagine a whole city, 1 yojana with a wall, okay? So 1 yojana per 1 yojana per 1 yojana. So a super wall, a huge wall. And then it's full of mustard seeds. Mustard seeds. And every 100 years you remove 1 mustard seed. Okay? Simile for the length of the Mahakapa. So we had now the kapas. Kapas. Okay. For the kappas, we had, remember, 4 types of kappa, no? We have Ayu kappa. Ayu kappa. Then we have Antara kappa. We have Asankhya kappa. And Mahakappa. Okay, no? 4 types of kappa. Ayukappa. Ayukappa. Buddhantara. Buddhantara kappa. Buddhantara kappa. What is Buddhantara kappa? I think I've heard this, no? When there is Buddha, is Buddhantara kappa. Buddhantara Kappa is the time between two Buddhas. So the Ayu Kappa is the lifespan, right? Lifespan is the Ayu Kappa. So in each realm is a different Ayu Kappa. Okay? So when the Buddha said that, for example, some Buddhas live for, I think it was 4/5 of the Ayu Kappa. Okay? And then the Buddha said he could, if he wanted to, he could live more. And the information Bhante gave us, he could live, if he wanted to, he could live either the entire Ayu Kappa or one part more, you see, of the Ayu Kappa. Okay? Or this. So this was Ayu Kappa. So what was the Ayu Kappa? Okay, what was the Ayu Kappa during Buddha time? Buddha's time. The Ayu Kappa was about 100 years, right? Yes. 100. Not 120. No, 100. Buddha time, the Ayu Kappa was 100 years. And it drops. This drops about 1 year every 100 years. It drops. Because now we are in the period of decrease. Even though during this decrease, in some places, sometimes it's a bit better, sometimes a bit lower, depending on the conditions, if there is food or things like that, right? So there is, of course, some variation over there. But overall, every 100 years, it drops for about 1 year. So now it's been 26 centuries since the Buddha, right? Now we have 2600 years after the Buddha. So the lifespan is about 74 years. So if you live about 74 years, you lived for the entire Ayu Kappa. Okay? More or less. So if you continue this progression, then, you know, Sattantara Kappa, or the Satta Vinasa will happen within, 9,000 years from the Buddha's time, which is about 6,500 from now. So more or less at this rate, and Bhante said that this rate probably varies. Right now we are losing about a year every century, but there can be a difference in the rate of decrease. Okay? But anyways, at this rate, it will take 6,500 years for us to reach that terrible period, no, of humanity, no? Yes. So because of this difference, we have the Antara Kappa, no? Antara Kappa. So the Antara Kappa is the time that takes for the human lifespan to do like this. Okay? So here it's Asankheya. And here it's 10 years only. Okay, we are somewhere around here now, you see? This is the period of decrease, and then there is the period of increase of lifespan. So this period, from here to here, is the Antara Kappa, okay? Antara Kappa. This is the Antara Kappa. This Antara Kappa is also called Chula Kappa, another name, Chula Kappa. Chula Kappa, and also called Manvantara. Manu Antara Kappa. Because in this period of Asankhya over here, when we reach this period, there is one king, Mahasammata, called Manu. Yes. So he is the first king within this Antara Kappa period. Okay, so during this period is when Buddhas can appear. Okay, Buddhas only appear in the period of decrease. And then the minimum lifespan for them to appear is 100 years, right? So our Buddha appeared right at the last moment, let's say. Yeah, right now a Buddha cannot appear, for example. The lifespan is 74 years. Okay? So this period over here is when Buddhas can appear. This period. Yes. Buddhas do not appear in the period of increase, yes. And until over here, when the lifespan is 100, you see? There was a maximum also, how much was it? 100,000, no? Yeah, so let me put this maybe like this. 100,000 and 100, right? Yes, so this is the period of decrease. And let's say around here is 100,000 lifespan, then it decreases to 100. So this is the period where Buddhas can appear. Buddhas can appear in this green period, okay? Okay? Then, once we reach over here, the very bottom over here, there is the Sattavinasa. Sattavinasa, yes. So this Sattavinasa, it's like a period of 7 days. It's a short period, actually. It begins with rain, some special rain, and then human beings at that time, they are very unvirtuous, and they are very ugly, and men and women look alike. You cannot differentiate clearly the sexes. Yes. So they sound like very close to animals, actually, no? If you think. Science has this idea that we were primates. We were like monkeys in the past, right? So it sounds a bit like this, even though they are not monkeys, but it does seem that they were monkey-like. Monkey-like in the sense of being ugly and looking alike, the sexes, and having a very poor behavior, animal behavior, without restraint, no? So during this period of the Sattavinasa, then, most of humanity dies. Only a few individuals who go to very remote areas like caves, for example, they stay alone in caves, for example, in remote areas, then they survive. Yes. Then this can happen for three reasons. One is sattva. Sattva is weapons, right? Sattva. And then this becomes a type of antarakapa. So you have sattantarakapa. Sattantarakapa. The other is roga antarakapa. Roga. And the last one is dubbika antarakapa. Dubbika. So depending on which disaster occurs over here, we can classify the type of kappa. Okay? Sattva vinasa. Sattva vinasa. Then, after this disaster, most of humanity dies either by weapons or by disease or with hunger. Then, when they die from weapons, most beings are born in Niraya. Sattantarakapa, most beings are born in Niraya. Rogantarakapa, most beings are born in Sagga. And Dubbikantarakapa, most beings are born in the Petivisaya. Yes. Why? Because when you die fighting, it's difficult to avoid dosa. So if somebody is killing you, it's very difficult to keep your mind balanced, no? Wholesome. So you probably die with that akusala dosa mind, and that takes most beings to niraya. Okay? But if you're dying of disease, then you tend to have, when you're suffering, you want other people around you not to have that suffering. So a little bit of loving kindness appears in the mind more easily. So because of that, they die, even though they are suffering, they have this good kusala chittas, and they tend to be born in Sagga as devas. I don't know if it's Tavatingsa or no. Huh? I just say Sagga. I don't know which Sagga. Sagga means, heavens, yes. Means, huh? No, in this case, most humans die. No human beings are being born. Understand? They are not being born here. So most beings are born in Sagga. Most beings are born in Sagga, reborn in Sagga. Huh? Most human beings who die of disease are reborn in Sagga. Okay? Not everyone, most of them. And then when there is Dubbikantarakapa, they die feeling hunger and thirst. So they have a strong desire for food and water, drink. Okay? So because of that, it's like a loba mula chitta, and then that takes them to Petivisaya, Peta realm. Sattantarakapa. Sattantarakapa, Rogantarakapa, Dubbikantarakapa. Okay? What? It is three types of Sattavinasa. Three types of Sattavinasa. Okay. Sattavinasa. Three types of Sattavinasa.
Those three types can be together?
No. Only one happens.
There is some remaining.
Huh?
This is
Some human beings remain, yes. Not all of them die. Some, but only those who are in remote areas, they stay apart from society, then they survive this period. Almost everyone dies.
Mostly
Yes, they just survive by themselves. I don't know how virtuous they are. I'm not sure they are virtuous. I haven't seen it like that, but they just stay away from society. Society in general is not virtuous, or we would say very unvirtuous. But then these individuals who survive after this great destruction, then they realize that they have to be virtuous. You know, because everyone, humanity is nearly extinct because of the dosa, or because of the raga, or because of the moha, right? Actually, the reason for each of these, it's given as well. Sattva because of dosa. Sattva vinasa. Sattantara kappa, beings are taken to niraya. And what leads to sattantara kappa is an excess dosa. Too much dosa. Let me try this red color. Dosa. Difficult to see, no? Is it? Okay. This one, dosa. Dosa leads to this. Rogantara kappa, here there were two opinions. One says raga and moha leads to bikantara. Or there was also another opinion that was the opposite. Moha and raga, okay? So these two maybe, there are two versions of this information. But dosa leads to sattantara kappa, okay? Dubika happens because they destroy the natural resources, you know? Either, some say because of moha, they destroy, human beings are too affected by moha at that time, and they destroy natural resources. They destroy the sources of water, the sources of, I don't know, food. They destroy maybe the forests, for example. We are seeing nowadays, to some extent, this is happening already, right? Yeah, so at that time, this great famine happens. Okay? Then, after this disaster, some human beings remain, and then they realize, wow, look, we should not behave like this. We should not kill. We should not steal. We should not lie, and so on. They start kind of, they realize with that disaster, they realize that they have to avoid these unwholesome deeds. So they start gradually undertaking virtues. Okay, they start avoiding killing, they start avoiding stealing, and so on. And gradually then, that brings their lifespan up and up. More and more, yes. They become more virtuous, okay? So we could say here that virtue drops. Here, virtue drops. Sila drops, you see? Sila drops. And here, sila increases. Okay? So this is one antarakappa. Now, if we continue this story, we have 64 antarakappa, right? Actually, there were different opinions of how much, but satantarakappa. You can read about this in the Aganya Sutta and Chakravati Sihanada Sutta. Aganya Sutta. Aganya Sutta and Chakravati Siha Nada Sutta. Siha Nada Sutta. Ganya. Okay, so then on the next, so we are around over here, you see? We are around here, relatively close to the Satavinasa. 6,500 years from now, the Satavinasa will occur. And so then after this, the lifespan will increase. When it reaches Asankhya, when it reaches Asankhya, it remains there for a while, and then again it starts to drop. Right? Then, when it starts to drop, when the lifespan is about, you see, if this is 100,000, it's about 80,000, then Mitteya Buddha will appear, right? Let's put this in this color here. Here, Mitteya Buddha. Mitteya Sammasambuddha appear. Around here, you see, around this period. Mitteya Sammasambuddha. So the Buddhas, they only appear in the decreasing period, because in the increasing period, human beings are living better and better and better. You know? They live longer and longer, they are more and more virtuous and peaceful. So they don't want to pay attention to Nibbana, you know, to meditation and to things like that. They don't want to be free from suffering. Right? Little bit like in the Deva realms, it's also like that, right? They tend not to pay attention to Dhamma as much because everything is okay. Right? There is no suffering. Or at least it's not evident. No? Not evident. Suffering is not evident. So only in the decreasing period do Buddhas appear. Okay. Then, if we take this, we go to the Asankhya Kappa now. Asankhya. Asankhya Kappa. So Asankhya, one I think it was Charyapitaka says it's uncountable. This number Asankhya, but the grammar says 10 to the power of 140. Okay? 10 followed by 140 zeros. Okay? So that's 10. And now if you start adding 140 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? I'm not going to do everything, no? Okay? Until, okay, 140th zero over here, right? 10 to the power of 2 is 100. Yes. 1. Really? Yeah, you're right. Like 10 to the power of 2, right? 10 to the power of 2 becomes 10 times 10. 10 times 10, which is 100. So you have 2 zeros, right? Yeah, you're right. So it should be 140th zero, counting this as the first zero. Right? Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So if we take the Antarakappa, like this, 1 Antarakappa, 2 Antarakappas, 3 Antarakappas, right? This is 1 Antarakappa first. This is the second Antarakappa. This is the third Antarakappa, and so on, until we have here the 64th Antarakapa. 64th Antarakapa. So this period of 64 Antarakapa is the Asankhya Kappa. Okay? Now this number 64, there are some different versions. This one is the most accepted. Most commentaries say 64 Antarakapas. Okay? But there were Katavatu, I think Katavatu said 20 Antarakapas. There was another source, some teachers mentioned in Paramata Dipani said 80 Asankhya Kappas. And then Bhante checked out of curiosity, the Vedas say 14 Asankhya Antarakapas. But this is the most accepted one. Most accepted one over here. Okay? It matches the way we have described the destruction also of the world. So we'll go with 64, okay? So this whole period of Asankhya is one Asankhya Kappa. Don't confuse it with the number 10 to the power of 140. Okay? This is Asankhya number. This is Asankhya number, okay? This is different from the Asankhya Kappa. Okay? Don't confuse these two. One thing is Asankhya, the number Asankhya, okay, which is 10 to the power of 140. Okay? Another book also said a little less than that, but anyways, there are some different versions. Here, Charyapitaka says it's uncountable. Sadaniti says it's lower than that, but most accepted is 10 to the power of 140. Okay? But this is the number Asankhya only. Asankhya Kappa is not 10 to the power of 140 in anything. It's just 64 Antarakapas. Okay? So just don't confuse these two, okay? Asankhya number is different from Asankhya Kappa. This is the symbol for different, no? Yeah, different, okay? No. 64 Antarakapa. Equal? What do you mean? The length of this? Yeah, I think they are more or less equal in length. And then each Asankhya Kappa is also about the same length. Okay? So Asankhya Kappa. What happens at the end of the Asankhya Kappa? So here we have Satavinasa, remember? We had here Satavinasa over here, right? Yeah, humanity is always nearly destroyed. Okay? Always nearly destroyed 64 times. And then at the end we come to another destruction, which is the destruction of the Asankhya Kappa. Now this destruction, okay, this destruction is not mentioned whether it happens over here, you see, or whether it happens over here. Technically the Antarakapa ends over here, but we find it a bit strange that when the lifespan is so high that destruction happens. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, Bhante said this is not mentioned. So we don't know if it's on the bottom or on the top. But before this destruction, there is a period before this destruction. I think, I may not remember how much, but you know the Devas, yeah? How much? 100,000 before? 100 years? No, I think it's Not 100 years, huh?
Maybe now.
Kolahala. Okay, give me a second. Kolahala. 5 types of Kolahala. Khuddaka Nikaya. Kappa Kolahala, 100,000 years before the Kappa ends. So either during the period of increase, I'm not sure when this happens, but before that, we have, okay, let's say here, around here, for example, 100, oh, too big. Like this. 100,000 years, we have this Kappa Kolahala. Kappa Kolahala. Okay, during the Kappa Kolahala, some devas come and their hair is out of place and they are like crying. Huh? And then they tell people that the Kappa will end and that people should develop metta, karuna, mudita, upekka. Okay? Yes, then what happens is most beings in Sugati, they develop jhanas and they are reborn in the Brahma realms. Okay?
I think maybe rise up, no? Because of if down they cannot
What do you mean rise up?
lifespan.
Lifespan should be increasing, you think? Because they should be able to develop jhana easily. Yeah, so it looks like maybe it should be a higher lifespan, right? If it's 10 years, I don't think they can develop jhana. Right? Yeah, so that's a good argument for the lifespan to be higher, right? Yeah, that makes sense. So those devas come, inform humanity that the world will be destroyed. Then beings develop metta, karuna, mudita, upekka with samvega. And then most beings are reborn over there. So apaya beings, here, before the great destruction. Great destruction. Before the great destruction, apaya beings, what happens to them? Most of them are reborn in Sugati. Then they are developed jhana. Then they are reborn in the Brahma realm. Then they escape the destruction, right? Then some of them here, those with strong wrong views, they are reborn in Lokantarika Niraya. Lokantarika Niraya. Lokantarika Niraya. Okay? Remember, between Chakavalas, we had one Chakavala. And then another Chakavalas, right? Another Chakavalas, and they are a little bit like this, like a beehive. Looks a bit like a beehive, and so on. You have Chakavalas, right? Okay, etc. So here, between Chakavalas, in this gap, there is a gap. And in this gap, there is no light, and I think it was very cold in this gap. Yes, cold and dark. So in this gap, in these gaps, is a type of niraya, Lokantarika Niraya. Let's put it like this. See? Lokantarika Niraya. Lokantarika Niraya, between Chakavalas. So then they spend the next 3 asankhya in that Lokantarika Niraya. long and long and long time. Okay. Then, okay, this is Apaya beings. Then, Sugati beings, especially Kama Sugati beings, they are also most born in Sugati. Now, most developed jhana, and are reborn as Brahmas. Okay? Those that are already Brahmas stay there, right? If they are in the first jhana Brahmas, they will go to the higher Brahma realm, because the first jhana realm is always destroyed, remember? Okay, so this is before the great destruction. What happens to living beings at that time? Now, this great destruction happens in three ways. So we had Sattavinasa, also three types of Sattavinasa. So that's three types of disaster. Now this is another disaster. This is the destruction of the world, so to say. Also happens because of three elements. So the great destruction, great destruction. Great destruction. You have by Tejo. Then, yes, it becomes Tejo, okay, Apo and Vayu. Okay? And because the Antarakappa ends with either Tejo, Apo, or Vayu, you could name the Kappa according to that. Could be the name of the Kappa. Okay? So, okay, later. So, Tejo. Sometimes, Tejo. Okay, Tejo is the red one. So we have the world systems, right? Remember we have Kama Bhumi. Let's put the world here in brief. Kama Bhumi. So we have Kama Bhumi. Then we have first jhana, Brahma realm, right? Brahmas. Second jhana, Brahmas. Third jhana, Brahmas. And fourth jhana, Brahmas. This is according to Suttanta method of jhanas, right? Not fifth jhana Brahmas, right? Okay? So when we have the destruction by Tejo, then Tejo becomes excessive. First, actually, before the Tejo, there is a great, huge rain. Yes. So before these, let's take maybe this blue for Apo, and this bright over here for Vayu. So before this, there is the Mahamega. Yes, Mahamegu. So, Mahamega, yes, it's a huge rain. So there are two Mahamegas. Two Mahamegas. One is Vipatti Kara Mahamega. The other is Sampatti Kara Mahamega. Okay? Two Mahamegas, two great rains. So before the destruction, we have the Vipatikara Mahamega, you see? So the first the Vipatikara Mahamega happens, and then the Tejo Dhatu will gradually, little by little, come and destroy up to the first jhana Brahmas. Okay? So first Vipatikara Mahamega for a while, then that Vipatikara Mahamega subsides and Tejo appears and starts consuming from bottom to top. Top means to the first jhana Brahma realm. Okay? So it's a lot of fire, right? Because if remember, between one realm and the other, there is 400 yojanas, I think. You know, between the Manusa, we had Manusa, and we had here Chatu Maharajika, Tavatingsa, and Yama. We had Tusita, we had Nimmanarati, and Paranimita Vasavati. And there were, I think it was 400 yojanas between. 400 yojanas between them. Need to confirm this information, just my memory. But anyways, it's a long distance. It's a very long distance. So everything burns. Okay? This is one time. And this happens when human beings are, they have excessive raga. So tejo due to raga. Due to raga. Okay? Apo was due to dosa. Due to dosa. And vayo due to moha. So it looks like moha is more rare. We are more often with raga. Okay? Huh? Sorry? Less dangerous? Yeah, I don't know if you consider that less dangerous. Yeah. Okay. These are two Mahamegas. So then, Apo, when it comes, it destroys up to here. Apo destroys up to here, second jhana. And then Vayo destroys up to here, third jhana, you see? Okay? So because of that, we can put 3 simas. 3, 3, no, this one. 3, 3 samvata simas. Samvata simas. 3 samvata simas. Why they are called samvata? Because the name of this kappa is samvata. Okay? We'll discuss now the name of the kappa. 3 samvata simas. The tejo, the one that is because of tejo, what is the sima? The second jhana is the sima, right? So the realm over here where before the tejo stops is the, remember? Abhasara. Yeah, Abhasara. Samvata simas. Abhasara. For Apo is Abhasara. This is Subhakinha. And the Sima for Vayu is Vihapala. So these are the three simas. Okay? Then you may ask this question, my question is, why is it abhasara, for example? Why is it abhasara? Because we have kama bhumi, first jana bhumi is destroyed. Then the second jana bhumi is three realms, right? Paritabha, apamanabha, abhasara. So why the sima is abhasara, not paritabha? Huh? Sorry? You have the realms. Huh?
The previous of the extinction of the realm,
Okay.
like Paritapa is two Mahakama and is related to this person.
Yeah. But if the Tejo destroys the first jana bhumis, the last one will be Mahabrahma. Mahabrahma, right? So the next realm, if you take immediately on top of that, would be Paritaba, not Abhasara, right?
And Paritapa and Apamanapa is destroyed.
Paritaba, Apamanabha are not destroyed. No. But the Sima is said to be Abhasara. So here Bhante told us, yeah, why? It's because these realms over here, they are like this. For example, you have, imagine, no. So we believe it's like this, you see? Okay? Imagine this is not a view from the top, but you have an area in which Paritabha Devas are born, you see? And then you have Appamanabha Devas born over here. You see, but on the same level but separate. You see? And then Abhasara here. Abhasara Devas over here. So this was Bhante gave to us, but there is no clear description of this. So I think they were not 100% sure. But I think it makes sense considering this clear information given by the Buddha, that the Sima is Abhasara. So if you think of this as actually in the same distance, but three consecutive circles, then the Sima is Abhasara, you understand? Because Paritabha, Apamanabha, and Abhasara are on the same level, but they are separate, like in these three areas, three discs, circular areas like this. Can you understand my drawing? It's not a view from above. A view from above you would see like this. From above it would be like this, you see? Right? This is a perpendicular view, like. No? So if that's correct, then this makes sense. That we can say the Sima is Abhasara. The same for Subhakinna, it's the same. Vihapala, okay, because when you destroy the third jhana, the next realm is Vihapala. Vihapala together with Asanyasata at the same level, remember? Asanyasata and Vihapala are actually in the same level. They can see, Vihapala can see Asanyasatas. Asanyasatas cannot see, but they can be seen by the Vihapala Devas, right? So it looks like they are on the same level, but they are different realms on that same level. Okay? So it looks like it matches these simas. These simas. Okay. Sima, yeah, boundary, no, is like a limit. Sima is a boundary.
We have only three boundaries.
3 boundaries for this great destruction, yes. Now the next thing is how often they happen. So they happen, I'll put it maybe in the next page, right? So they happen like this.
The name of boundary is
Yeah, then what is the boundary? Yes. What is the limit? For the Tejo destruction, the limit will be Abhasara realm. Abhasara realms are not destroyed. That's the limit. So when the fire destroys everything up to that point, it subsides. You understand? So that's the boundary. That's the Sima.
or can be destroyed or Appamanabha and Pantapha.
No. They are also destroyed. Sorry, they are not destroyed. Yeah, they are not destroyed. Yes. You understand? This is why it looks correct that they are in the same distance.
Look like
They are in the same plane.
they say the main the chief of that realm.
Yeah, they just say the chief. Yes. But if they are like this, consecutive circles or rings, then it makes sense because it stops, and then he mentions the most important, which is Abhasara. Later, Subhakinha. Then for the third one is clear. There is just Vihapala and Asanyasata as a boundary to the Vayu destruction, right? So this destruction happens like this, mathematical formula. You have 7 times Tejo. 7 times Tejo. I think red has to be very big, otherwise you cannot see it. 7 times Tejo. And then 1 time, so plus Apo. Plus 1 time Apo. 7 times Tejo plus 1 time Apo. And this, all of this, Dukkha. And all of this happens 7 times. Okay? Then, I think I'll put this like this. Then you have 7 times Tejo again. Seven times Tejo. And once Vayu. Plus 1 Vayu. 1 Vayu, you see? So it becomes like this. We have 1 destruction by Tejo, okay? This means the whole Asankhya. The Asankhya 64 Antarakapas happen, and then it's destroyed by fire, right? Then there is another Asankhya in which there is no life, and then another Asankhya in which the world is being constructed, and then another Asankhya in which living beings are living again. Then again you will have Tejo. So you have 7 Tejos. Tejo, 3, 4, 5, 6, like the Javanas. Okay? Like the Javanas. And then you have Vayu. Apo, not Vayu, Apo. And then you have Apo. Okay? Now this happens 7 times. Okay? 7 times. Tejo. 7 times. So this is, I will not write all of them, no? This is the first time, this is the second time. Seventh time, and then the 8th time. Okay, we have here Tejo, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tejos. Here you also have 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tejos. Wait. Here Apo. Here Vaio. Vaio. 7 Tejo plus Apo, right? Okay, and this should be 7 times. So 7 times this. Correct, no? 7 times this. And then on the 8th time, we add another one. 7 times Tejo and 1 times Vaio. Okay? I think it's okay, right? So this is the mathematical formula of the destruction, if you want. Huh?
Fire 7 times. And then 1 Apo.
Huh? 7 times. 7 times Tejo and then Apo. Sorry, here I forgot another Apo here. Apo here, see? See? This should be 7 times. And then again, on the 8th time, you have Tejo, 7 Tejos, and 1 Vaio. And then it again restarts. We are talking about the destruction at the end of the Asankheya Kappa. How it happens, like it is normally most often destroyed by Tejo. The world, Kama, Dhatu, and the first Jhana realm are at the end of the Samvata Kappa. It is destroyed by Tejo 7 times. 7 times consecutively. 7 times it happens. Then there are details. I don't know the sutta, but it explains how this happens. You're sleepy, huh? How this happens, a second sun appears. Have you heard of this? Have you heard of this? We have one sun, right? Then, during this period of destruction, a second sun appears, and then there is no night. Huh? What? Mahanidana? Ah, you see Mahanidana Sutta. Okay. Mahanidana Sutta. Nidana Sutta. You can check. Do you understand? So 7 times the world is destroyed by Tejo. And, sorry, where are we now? I think we now, it will be destroyed by Tejo now. Will be destroyed by Tejo now, but I don't know which of these. I don't know which of these. Do you remember? You don't know, Bante? I also don't know. Huh? He asked? I don't know. Why doubt? Where are we now, right? Yes. I don't know in which of these. According to my memory, I heard somewhere it's Tejo. The next one will be Tejo again. But I don't know which Tejo. There is so many, no? Yes. So during this destruction of Tejo, there is a description. But there is like a second sun appears. Then there is no night. It becomes very hot. Like IIT, maybe more than IIT, I think. And then you have a third sun appears. then the water in the world starts to disappear, starts to evaporate, becomes very hot. Then a fourth sun appears. Okay, you want to turn this off. Second sun appear. Yeah, and gradually the water disappears, is evaporated. Even the great ocean, even the ocean, the water of the ocean is completely dried out. Okay, so during this period, and then everything starts to burn. Everything starts to burn. 7 suns, yes, 7 suns. So I think when the 7th sun appears, then everything starts to burn and everything gradually is destroyed. But it takes a long time, okay? This destruction, it takes one Asankhya Kappa. One Asankhya Kappa for this destruction to complete happen. Mm. No, it's too hot. Yeah. Yeah, if it evaporates. Yeah, technically no, but if everything gets hot, there is no night. Hot, too hot. Too hot. Then I don't know where this water goes. It must, if it's too hot, it must remain as vapor. So I think all that water becomes vapor, maybe. I don't know what happens. If the atmosphere is the same, probably is different at that time. I don't know how it happens scientifically. No? Okay. So then we have, this happens in a cycle. Happens in a cycle. Like this. Okay. So this is called Samvata. 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 This is Samvatatai. Samvata. Tai. Vivata. And Vivata. Tai. Okay? So, during Samvata, this is an Antara Kappa, you see? Samvata, Asankhya Kappa, Asankhya Kappa, okay? This is also Asankhya Kappa. Another Asankhya Kappa. And another Asankhya Kappa. Okay. During this Samvata Sankhya Kappa we have here, this is the period of destruction, Samvata. Samvata is the destruction. The period in which the world is being destroyed. Okay? So here the destruction happens. So if you take here, you have Vivatatai is when the living beings are living. So here we have the the 64 Antarakapas, you see? 64 Antarakapas, okay? From the 1st to the 64th Antarakapas. Remember Antara? Kappas. So during this period, we have 64 Antarakapas. Okay? So this is the period in which there is the Kama realms, Apaya. Apaya means the other Apayas except Lokantarika Niraya. and we have the first jhana, Brahmas. Only during this asankya, you see? Vivatatai. Okay? Then at the end of the Vivatatai, remember we have here the great destruction begins. Right? Here we have the Sattavinasas over here, remember? Sattavinasas. Right? And then over here we have this great destruction. This maybe great destruction over here. Okay? So this great destruction is over here. You see, it begins over here. Okay? So this is the period of this great destruction. Period of the great destruction. Great destruction. Either by fire, or by water, or by vayu. Fire, water, or, wind. Wind, yeah, elements. Okay, maybe a huge storm. So this is when human beings live. Then this period of destruction, most beings are either in the higher Brahma realms or in Lokantarika Niraya, right? All the rest are destroyed. Then this period over here is the period in which all those realms remain destroyed. Destruction happens over here, okay? During this period. Here remains, you know to remain? So, remain destroyed, already finished destroying. Yeah, here at this point over here, the element subsides. One of these elements subsides, no? Whichever is causing the destruction. One of these elements, the element subsides over here. You see, at this point. Subsides means it calms down, goes away. Okay? Then that destruction is finished, yes. Then it comes a period in which there is only the above realms. If it's Tejo, for example, as an example, you will have second, third, and fourth jhanas, and the Arupavachara Brahmas, and you will have only some beings in Lokantarika Niraya. Right? Then, there is this period in which these realms remain destroyed, and it lasts for about the same amount of time, as if it were 64 Antarakapas as well. Okay? So here representing as the same distance, you see, in terms of time. This Asankhya Kappa is like empty. Just the realms are destroyed. All the elements are scattered. Okay? Then, here occurs another Mahamega. Here we have one mega, right? Remember? Let's put that mega over there. Here you have one mega. Here you have Vipatti Kara Mahamega. Okay, at this point, before this destruction. And here, before the construction, let's say, of the world, you also have one of these Mahamegas. Here, another Mahamega. Okay, this is Sampatti Kara Mahamega. Okay? So this great rain initiates the, let's say, the genesis, the reconstruction of the world. Okay? So you could see the world regenerates, is again comes into being, no? So this is the period of maybe reconstruction of the world, okay? Doesn't mean anyone constructs it, just elements. So the period of regeneration or reconstruction, regeneration period. This period also lasts about the same time as 64 Antarakapas, okay? So again, during this period, still we don't have living beings technically, no? And then only over here we have living beings. At this point over here appears the sun and moon. Sun. So this period of Vivata Sankhya Kappa, it begins with Sampatikara Mahamega and it ends with the appearance of the sun and moon. If you read the suttas about the Adhikapika Manusas, I'll put it yellow. Adhikapika Manusas, you have here sun and moon. Sun and moon around here, they appear. I don't remember when they disappear. Maybe around here. Maybe they disappear over here. Not sure. Anyways, okay. So this whole thing is the Mahakapa. Okay? So this whole thing is the Mahakapa. This whole thing is the Mahakapa. Which kappa you're talking about now? No, then there is Sampatikara Mahamega, which is the beginning of the regeneration of the world. Yeah, that's the amount of time, yes. But there are no human beings during this period. Yes, at the end of Vivatataya Sankhya Kappa. It marks the beginning of the Samvata Sankhya Kappa. Okay? So right there in the middle between those two, this Vipatikara Mahamega. Okay? So just don't get confused with this destruction between this destruction Satantara Kappa, Rogantara Kappa, and Dubikantara Kappa, and the great destruction which is either Tejo, Apo, or Vayu. Okay? So if we take a kappa, Mahakappa, for example, human beings live, and then here Tejo destroys it. Tejo destroys, okay? Then nothing happens here. Here the world regenerates, and here again human beings live 64 Antarakappas. Then again Tejo destroys, second time. Then on the third round, Tejo a third time. 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times Tejo, and then it will be Apo. You understand? So each Mahakappa, you will have one of these great destructions. It will be 7 times Tejo, 1 times Apo. 7 times Tejo, 1 times Apo. All of this 7 times. And then 7 times Tejo, and then Vayu. Okay? So how many destructions? how many destructions? Total destructions, you have 7 times 8, you see? These are 8, right? So 7 times 8, 8 times 8, 64. 64 Mahakapas, you see? 64 Mahakapas cycle. It's a cycle, like a cycle, right? Mahakapa itself is a cycle, right? And 64 Mahakapas form like a certain cycle. This cycle, I haven't heard any name for it. Okay? No name for this. The greatest amount of time we use that I know is Mahakapa. We have, I think, no name for this cycle of 64 Mahakapas. Okay? Then what the Bodhisattva took to become a Buddha, 4 Asankhya and 100,000 Mahakapas, right? So, how much is that? Yeah, so this is the paramis. Paramis, you have 4 Asankhya and 100,000 Mahakapas. So here Asankhya is the Asankhya, not the Asankhya Kappa. Okay? This is the Asankhya, the number Asankhya. So it's 10 to the power of 140 plus 100,000 Mahakapas. Okay? So it's a huge amount, no? 4 Asankhya. This Asankhya is the Asankhya number. It's not Asankhya Kappa.
It should be times 4 again. Times 4.
Yes, times 4. Yes, times 4. Yes, times 4. 4 Asankhya and 100,000.
4 times Asankhya.
4.
4 times Asankhya.
Yes, 4 times Asankhya. 1 Asankhya is 10 to the power of 140. And an extra 100K. 100K, no? It's yeah, it's a lot. No? If we had to, I think, show this number, it would be 40 or 4 and 140 zeros, right? Correct? If we take 4 and we add 140 zeros, this is 10. No? 10 to the power of 140 is 1 and 140 zeros, right? And then you multiply this by 4, then this will become a number 4, you see? So it will be like this, 4 followed by 100 and, you see, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros, no? Then you reach 140. This one is 140, and then you add 100,000. 100,000, this is 1,000. 100,000, you see? Yeah. 140, 146. So it looks like 40 to the power of 146. You agree? Is it okay, my math? 4 to the power of 146? Mahakapas. Mahakapas. This one is plus, not multiplied, yes. It's 4 Asankhyas of Mahakapas and 100,000 Mahakapas. So it's plus, not multiplied. No, it's not multiplied. No. Until here, it's this.
Yes, sir. And plus 100,000 Mahakapa.
Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did.
But it should not be kept 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Here, 10 to the power of 140 is like this, 1 and 140 zeros, right? Then if we multiply this by 4, this number 1 will become number 4, and it will still be 140 zeros. Okay, so 4 followed by 140 zeros, you see?
That one is correct.
Is it correct?
What you mean was when you plus 100,000, so this will be option 1?
Yes, sir. Plus it's
Plus 100,000. Ah, this is wrong?
Yes, sir. It is not multiplied.
Ah, yeah, I multiplied, right? I multiplied. So then, where do I add? I add the 1 over here. Yeah, it must be over here, right? Okay, I understood my mistake. Now I understood my mistake.
Same plus 100,000.
We need to study mathematics. For E 140 plus E is to the power. E? 10 power. For E 140. They will write like 4 and then E and then 140. Okay. So this means 10 to the power of 140, no? Yes. And then, where do I add over here the 100,000? Wait. So this is the 140th zero. And now we have to add 100,000. So this is 1,000. Okay, maybe let me put like this. And then I can present it. Wait. So this is the 140th zero. And then now we add 100K. So this would be 1K. This would be 100K over here, right? Over here, you see? 100K. Okay. So this one was not correct. I already explained, eh?
The first line is already clear.
Huh?
The first line already clear.
The first line is already clear, yes. I was just trying to visualize how much that is. No? It's a long time, right? And these are mahakapas. Mahakapas. For asankhya, huh? For asankhya kapas are 1 mahakapa. But not, this asankhya is an asankhya number of mahakapas.
It is the parami of the Buddha.
This asankhya over here, not the kappa. Okay, because we have the asankhya kappa. It's not 4 asankhya. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1 mahakapa. No. In this case, the asankhya here is the number asankhya, not the kappa asankhya. Huh? Yes, for asankhya number of mahakapas. We're not using asankhya kappas here to count. Do you understand?
But it is the range of asankhya kappa. One asankhya kappa range.
One asankhya kappa is not 10 to the power of 140. No. One asankhya, you have 2 things. Asankhya, the number, which is 10 to the power of 140. Or you have the asankhya kappa. Asankhya kappa is 64 antara kappa.
They are not same.
No, they are very different.
They can be same.
Not the same.
But 64 under kappa is Asankhya number.
64 antara kappas is not one asankhya number. That's asankhya kappa.
That is length number.
There is two meanings of asankhya. One is the number asankhya, the other is the kappa asankhya. Don't mix them up. Do you understand now? Or not?
But in parallel, what is the length now?
Length.
What is the length? Like there is 4 Asankhya, no?
4 asankhyas of mahakappas.
Of Mahakappa.
Not 4 asankhya kappas.
Means 4 type of Asankhya. Those 4. No. This is number.
This is a number also. Here we are measuring by mahakappas. Forget asankhya kappas. We are using the number asankhya. Incalculable. For incalculables, okay.
Like this, 100, we say 100, 100 million.
Okay.
100 million. 102 million. Is it like that? Like 100K?
100,000.
Mahakappa, but Asankhya is just, it is not in Mahakappa.
Yeah. We are using just mahakappas to calculate the time. The unit of time we are using is mahakappa. So how many mahakappa? 1 mahakappa? No. 4 10 to the power of 140 mahakappas. You understand? 10 to the power of 140 mahakappas.
I understand. Asankhya is number.
Yes.
That amount.
Yeah, the amount of mahakappas. Yeah. You understand? You're confusing the number and the asankhya kappa. It's different from asankhya number.
Counting Asankhya Kappa.
Yeah, just counting how many mahakappas? 1 for asankhya and 100,000. Okay? So, what?
The Vivattataji and all four Asankhya Kappa the time is same, right?
Yes, they are about the same.
We should check those one is the vessel.
The antara? Yeah.
Vivattataji Asankhya Kappa.
Vivatatai we take as the yes, to understand how long it takes. Yes. Then this period of time also takes a long time, right? But I don't remember any simile for this. But there is a simile for the time it takes for all of this mahakappa to pass. Understand? So the simile for the mahakappa, there are 2 that I know. One is the simile of the mountain, 1 cubic yojana. Mountain. Okay, this is one simile. So imagine a mountain, which is like 1 yojana high. 1 yojana high, and I think I don't know how he made the base of this mountain, but it's 1 yojana by 1 yojana, so it becomes like a pyramid. Anyways, then a man comes every 100 years and brushes the top of that mountain with yeah, he said a mountain, so I'm not drawing a cube, but technically it's like a yojana like this, no? Like a cube. Sorry? Yeah, very fine cloth. Yes, yes. It will slowly. Yeah, yeah. There is two. One is this mountain that slowly you wear it off by brushing it with a cloth. Every 100 years you do that. You understand? Human years, yes. Every 100 years, a man goes to the top of this mountain and takes a very fine, soft cloth and kind of brushes it or something. Then slowly it will destroy the mountain, right? Yeah, you will destroy the cloth, of course, but eventually the mountain will be destroyed. Okay, so that's the time it takes for the Mahakapa to end. And then the other simile, okay, one was the mountain, the other one was the like the sesame seed. No, not sesame seeds. Mustard seeds, yes. Mustard seeds. Also, there is a. Imagine he says it's like a city surrounded by a wall, 1 yojana by 1 yojana and by 1 yojana. So it's a cubic yojana. And filled with mustard seeds, right? They are very, very small seeds, remember? From, huh? Like a huge container, yes. But 1 yojana by 1 yojana by 1 yojana. Like that. And then every 100 years, you take one seed out. Okay? So then it would end before the kappa ends.
That is possible than the rock mountain.
With the mountain? More possible
No, more possible
than the mountain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see any possible.
It's ridiculous amount of time.
One day that is kappa, it's not mahakappa.
This is Mahakappa.
If we finish taking all the mustard seed, then it is mahakappa.
Mahakappa time, yeah, the time of the Mahakappa.
But they didn't say exactly.
So when you reach 1/4, the humans disappear. Another 1/4 is the period of destruction.
They said that the kappa will remain unfinished.
Yeah, will remain unfinished. Like it's kappa is even more than that, yeah, something like that. Not exactly that, yeah. It's just a long time. Okay. So we discussed, I think, maybe everything. How it happens. So this is a Mahakappa, no? Then this is a Mahakappa. Then during this period, Buddhas, some Buddhas, they can appear during this period of decrease around here, right? Hey. During the period of decrease, during this period of decrease, Buddhas can appear. Some Buddhas can appear. And Pacceka Buddhas stop appearing 1,000 years, I think, was before Sammasambuddha appears. So when there is no Sammasambuddhas, Pacceka Buddhas can appear. And it seems that they can also appear when the lifespan is increasing. Pacceka Buddha, yes. So when there is no Buddha, then some Pacceka Buddhas appear. And then you can have many Pacceka Buddhas at the same time. Right? Not just. Sammasambuddha is just one. No? Another thing is that, okay, this great destruction happens if we have one Chakavala, right? one Chakavala, this destruction that happens at the end of the Asankhya Kappa doesn't only destroy one Chakavala, but it destroys many Chakavalas. So we have one Chakavala, and then there is other Chakavalas, right? Other Chakavalas. Okay? Other Chakavalas. Then there is an area of 10,000 Chakavalas. This is 10,000 Chakavalas. 10,000 Chakavalas is called Jati Keta. Jati Keta. Okay, Jati Keta. This 10,000 Chakavalas shake, or there is an earthquake that affects all these 10,000 Chakavalas when the Bodhisattva is conceived, when he is born, I think, when he attains enlightenment, when he teaches the Dhammacakka, when I think he gives up the Ayusankara, when he takes Parinibbana. I don't know if there is another, maybe one more, I think. I don't know. So on these occasions, all these Jatiketa, so 10,000 Chakavalas, are affected. Okay? Jatiketa. Then, if you zoomed out, if you take this as the Jatiketa, okay, now we zoom out, this is the Jatiketa, then there is a greater area which is Koti Sata Sahasa. Yes. Yes, this is Dasa Sahasa. Dasa Sahasa. This is Koti Sata Sahasa Chakavalas. This is called Anaketa. Anaketa. Okay, Anaketa is the area affected by the paritas. Ratanaparita, yes. Ratanaparita, Dhajagaparita, Moraparita, Khandaparita, Atanatyaparita. Metasutta? I don't think so, Metasutta, no? No. These are the ones I think I remember. So these paritas, they can affect, or they have an effect on these anaketas. This is why it's called ana. Ana is the order. So let's say the Buddha's word as a parita, properly chanted and so on, has an effect on these anaketa. Okay? And then if you take the anaketa and we zoom out, this is the anaketa. Anaketa. There is a greater area which has no limits. No limits. Okay? Is called Visayaketa. Visayaketa is no limit, okay? Ananta. Ananta. This Visayaketa is the limits of knowledge of the Buddha. The field of knowledge that the Buddhas have. Sammasambuddhas, okay? Visayaketa, yes. So Sammasambuddhas can, let's say, encompass more than the Anaketa. Okay? Visayaketa. So these three ketas, these are called the three Buddha ketas. Okay? 3 Buddhakitas. So, the point here is that the destruction of the kappa at the end of the asankya, either by tejo or apo or vayu, happens to this anakita. Anakita. This is the destruction, okay? So the destruction. Destruction. Yes. This destruction. This destruction, not only one kama bhumi, right? Kama bhumi is destroyed, first jhana is destroyed, sometimes second, sometimes third. Not only of one chakavala, but of koti sata sahasa chakavalas. Do you understand? So try to imagine many chakavalas. Koti is 10 million, right? 10 million. Sata is 100. Sahasa, 100,000. So 10 million times 100,000. How much is that? 10 million. 10 million is this. 10 million times 100,000. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, this is a million. This is a million. Lang lampi. Is it correct? Wait. 10 millions. 10 millions. And then we add 100,000. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. So, 1 trillion. 1 trillion. 1 trillion, okay? 1 million millions, yes. 1 trillion. 1 trillion, yes. The British have another system. They call 1 million millions a billion. But, yeah, there is a difference. Two systems. This is a trillion, but according to the common way of counting. But there is another way of counting, which only a million millions is a billion. So only a million billions would be a trillion. So that's much more, no? This is 1 trillion like this. You see, you can count. No, not 1 terabyte. 1 trillion, okay? So 1 trillion chakavalas are destroyed together at the same time. What?
In each chakavala, there is man life and
Human life, Deva life, Brahma life, Apaya, yes. In each.
Means there are human life in other chakavala.
Yes. Yes, according to this, yes. Aliens.
Every chakra has
Sinero Mountain, yes. Yeah, as far as I know, yes.
And they have every same like Sugati Apaya.
Yes. Apaya, Manusa, Devaloka, Brahmas, Arupa. Yeah.
Do they have facility like small model?
Yeah, I think so. Yes. I don't know. Not in the Tipitaka, no? The not that much description, but Sudhavasa? That's a good question. Because sometimes the Buddha teaches, and devas from this whole Jatiketa especially come to listen. So some of them attain enlightenment, they go back. So I think it's possible Sudhavasas as well. Sudhavasas are the 5 Brahma realms in which only Anagamis are reborn into. Right? Remember? Aviha, Atapa, Sudasa, Sudasi. Akanita. Yeah, this was the question. I haven't heard anything about that, but my argument was that devas from many other chakavalas come to listen to Dhamma and they attain Nibbana.
For example, the first time that the Chakavara doesn't have there is not the Suthavasa. Some of the another ladies come to
Listen Dhamma, attain,
then
maybe it appears, right? Yes, possible, I think. Yeah.
depends on that.
On their attainment, right?
Yeah.
Yes. But they also live for a very long time. So you could have from past Buddhas. That's another thing. The Suddhavasas are never destroyed. Fire doesn't destroy them, the Apo doesn't destroy them, the Vayu doesn't destroy them. This is why they can live for many, many Mahakapas. Right? How much was it? 16,000 Mahakapas, Akanita. 16,000 Mahakapas is the lifespan of Akanita. So within those Mahakapas, sometimes a Buddha appears, right? And then maybe some devas attain, they can, so I think it can be maintained. The realm is, I think it probably exists over there, not only in this Chakavala. But it is said that Buddhas only appear in this, our Chakavala. So I think people, if there are other beings who make merit, I think they'll end up coming to this Chakavala. And then they end up meeting Buddhas in this Chakavala. They end up developing themselves and becoming Buddhas in this Chakavala. You understand? Okay? Now, Mahakapas sometimes have Buddhas, sometimes do not have Buddhas, right? So we have 5 types of Mahakapas. 5 types of Mahakapas according to the number of Buddhas. Okay? Some Buddhas. So we have the most common, Sunyakapa. Yes. Sunyakapa, no Buddhas. 0 Buddhas, Samasambhuddhas. Then we have Sarakapa. We have 1 Samasambhuddha appears. Then we have Mandakapa. Sunya, Sara, Manda. Is Sara or Sara? Long? Sara, Kappa. This one has 2 Samasambhuddhas. Then Saramanda. Saramanda Kappa has 3 Samasambhuddhas. Then we have Saramanda, Vara Kappa, 4 Samasambhuddhas, and Bhadda Kappa, 5 Samasambhuddhas. So this is the maximum, 5 Samasambhuddhas. I don't know, what are they? Like that. Okay. Sunya Antara Kappa, Sunya Asankya Kappa, Sunya Mahakappa. Sunya Ayu Kappa? Okay. So, unfortunately, the first one is the most common. So, you can see during the last 24 Buddhas, you can see which kappas had Buddhas, which kappas did not have Buddhas. And most of them did not have Buddhas. Sometimes many Mahakappas, no Buddhas arise. So at that time, only some Pacheka Buddhas, maybe some people who can develop jhana or something good, but not enough to attain Nibbana. Maybe Pacheka Buddhas can attain Nibbana. Most of the time, no? So 5 types of Mahakappas. What else? Six? Ah, yeah, 6. Actually, because the list gives 5, so this is like plus Sunya. Sunya is not in the list, so I added and it becomes 5. Actually, 6. Actually 6, right? Yeah, there are different versions, Bante. Yeah, there are different versions, very different versions. Yeah. Bante mentioned to us. He gave us this list to study, but there is other, sometimes Saramanda Vara, Saramanda Bhadda. And sometimes Bhadda is here, right? So there are some different versions of this list. Wait. Here. Other methods. Okay, you want to know the other methods? Okay. Other methods that I have. Other method. One method is Sara Vara Manda Bhadda. Sara Vara Manda and Bhadda. Bhadda or Bhadda? Bhadda. Bhadda. So this one, Sara is 1, Vara is 2 or 3, Manda is 4, Bhadda is 5. Okay? This is another method. Another method was this. Sara Manda Vara, Sara Manda Bhadda. Sara Manda and then Vara, Saramanda and Bhadda. So this is the same order as number of Samasambuddhas is the same, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So these are 2 other methods. Then I have the Chronicle of the Buddhas. But this is extra information. Chronicle of the Buddhas. So I'll just mention it quickly. For Asankhya and 100,000 Mahakappas ago, 5 Buddhas appeared. Tanhankara, Medhankara, Saranankara, Dipankara. 4 Buddhas appeared. So it was a Varakappa. Then, during that kappa, the hermit Sumedha received the prophecy. Sumedha received the prophecy. Then, after that, 1 asankhya of Sunya kappas passed. This means 1 asankhya is 10 to the power of 140, the number. 1 asankhya of Mahakappas without any Buddhas. A long period, huge period. Almost 1/4 of his paramis, the period he was developing himself without any Buddhas. Then Buddha Kondanya appeared. 1 Buddha. So Sarakappa. Sarakappa, you see? 1 Buddha. Then our Bodhisattva met the Buddha Kondanya, right? Then what happens is, if he has any mistake, he fixes that mistake. He improves his sila. He again improves how to attain jhana. He improves himself, makes special merits to become a Buddha, etc., right? Then another asankya of Sunyakapas passed without any Buddhas again. Huge amount of time. And then Mangala, Sumana, Revata, and Sobhita Buddhas appeared. So another Varakappa happened. Then our Bodhisattva met these Buddhas and learned with them, improved himself, made merits. Then again, one asankya of Sunyakapas passed. And then Anomadasi, Padma, and Narada Buddhas appeared. Okay, so that was 3 Buddhas you have, Saramandakappa. Okay? At this point, the Agasavakas of our Buddha received prophecy. They received prophecy. The Agasavakas, you see? This was one asankya and 100,000 Mahakapas ago. Okay? This is the Agasavakas. So Sariputta and Moggallana only, these 2. At this point, received the definite prophecy. Then another asankya of Sunya Mahakapas passed. And then 100,000 Mahakapas ago, Buddha Padumuttara appeared. So one Buddha Sarakappa it was. At this point, Mahasavakas received the prophecy. Mahasavakas, so Venerable Ananda, I think, other like 80 Mahatheras, yes. All and also the not only bhikkhus, no, but also the bhikkhunis. I don't know about the Agasavaka bhikkhunis. Agasavaka bhikkhunis. I don't know when they received the prophecy. Etadaga, yes. These monks, Etadaga, they appeared over here. They received the prophecy 100,000 Mahakapas ago. Then 70,000 Sunyakapas passed, and Buddha Sumedha and Sujata appeared. So 2 Buddhas, Mandakappa. So the Bodhisattva met them. In some of these Buddhas he ordained as a monk, right? I think it was 9 times, was it? 9 times, right? Then another 12,000 Sunyakapas passed. 12,000. And then Buddha Piyadasi, Attadasi, and Dhammadasi appeared. This was 3 Buddhas, so Saramanda Kappa, right? Saramanda Kappa. This was 18,000 Mahakapas ago. Yes. After that, 18,000, almost a little bit less than that, 17,906 Sunyakapas passed. And then Buddha Siddhartha appeared. Then 1 Sunyakapa passed, and Buddhas Tissa and Pussa appeared. Then 91, then on the immediate, no Sunyakapas, immediately on the next kappa, Buddha Vipassi appeared. And then 60 Sunyakapas passed. And then Buddha Sikhi, Vesabu. And then 30 Sunyakapas passed, and you have our present kappa. Our present kappa we had Buddha Kakusandha, Konagamana, Kassapa, Gotama. And then we will have also Metteya. So it's a Baddha kappa. So you see, among all these kappas, this is the only Baddha kappa. Only Baddha kappa. This is the period of the paramis after receiving prophecy. There is also paramis before receiving prophecy, but this is not mentioned over here.
It is not exactly 24.
24 what? 24 Samasambuddhas, no?
It is not exactly like that.
As far as I know, it's like this.
It is only that much is mentioned because Bodhisattva started his prophecy.
Fulfilling paramis. These are the Buddhas that appeared during his period of paramis. But before he began, let's say, his paramis as a bodhisattva, then there are other Buddhas, of course, in the past. Countless Buddhas. There is no beginning to the number of Buddhas. So you could say Asankhya Buddhas, yes. For sure, yes. Okay? But so it sounds like so many Buddhas, yes, in the past. Yes, countless Buddhas. So it sounds like Buddhas are not rare. But actually, they are very rare because the time it passes, it's even much, much longer than that, no? Okay. So if you want this list, I have it here. So we finished the kappas. Now we need to start kamma. So can we go a bit more? Until what? 4:30 or what time do you want to stop? Let's agree. What time do you want to stop? 4:30? Okay, 4:30. So now we have kamma. Huh? How long? How long can we go? It depends on you.
How long is this? Can you finish it next day? Next week?
We have these Kamachatuka and then we have Chutipati Sandhi. Chutipati Sandhi. So the chapter on Kamma will take more than 20 minutes, for sure. And then, so maybe we can finish in one more day. Maybe one more day is enough. So we can finish next Saturday, for example. Okay. Kamachatuka. So, for Kamachatuka, we have two bhumis. Remember we had bhumis? Kama bhumi, Rupa bhumi, Arupa bhumi, Lokutara bhumi, all these bhumis. But now we have two different types of bhumi. Kamma. Purple. Kamma. So we have two bhumis of result of kamma, okay? Of results of kamma, okay? Two bhumis of results of kamma. The first is Pachuppana bhumi. Pachuppana, sorry. Pachuppana bhumi. Okay, and then we have Anagata bhumi. Anagata bhumi. Okay, Pachuppana bhumi, we have, okay, two types of kamma, right? Akusala kamma and kusala kamma, right? So here we have these two bhumis, Pachuppana bhumi, Anagata bhumi. Akusala kamma, and we have also kusala kammas. And then Anagata bhumi, we also have akusala kamma and kusala kamma. Okay. Now, what is the difference between these bhumis? Akusala kamma in the Pachuppana bhumi can produce or can lead to bad results or it can lead to good results. What? Nani? You know Nani? Japanese, yes. Japanese. Bad results. Okay, let me do this nicely. Nani? Bad results or good results? Nani? Bad results. Bad results of kusala karma, you see? Nani? Nani? Good results. Okay. So, what does it mean? So, bad results of akusala karma, this means pachupana bhumi is more like consequences, right? Consequences. It's more like adinava. Or we could say is a type of result, but in the pachupana bhumi. Should not mix with the anagata bhumi, right? So, in the pachupana bhumi, akusala karma can lead to bad results. For example, if you kill or steal, you may go to prison, people will criticize you. These are consequences. So, pachupana bhumi is showing consequences. Yes, in this life, consequences of this, okay? Pachupana bhumi. Anagata bhumi is showing the result. The actual result, which we call vipaka, no? Okay? So this is why akusala karma can lead to bad consequences. So what should be done about bad consequences, bad results of akusala karma? How should we treat these conditions, bad results of akusala karma? We should develop hiri. Yeah. Develop these things, you see? You should develop hiri. This means you should be ashamed of these bad results. Do you understand? You should develop hiri about these things. Good results of akusala karma. No, it's the opposite. Sorry, I should put bad over here and good over here. Okay, I'll change the hiri. It's easier. Hiri no. Ottappa. For good results, you have to develop shame, hiri. Yes. Okay? So the shame, you should be ashamed of those good things that akusala karma brings. You should be ashamed of these things. You should develop hiri about those things. Sometimes pleasant, good things. You understand? We need to develop hiri. Do you understand? No. Akusala karma, okay, can lead to good results. This means good consequences in this life. For example, maybe if you steal or if you lie, maybe you can make a lot of money, for example. Or sexual misconduct is a pleasant thing, for example. Do you understand? So akusala karmas can have these good results in the present life. Do you understand? So with regard to these good results, we should develop hiri. We should develop this shame. Hiri is the dhamma that shrinks away from akusala. You should feel ashamed, or you should develop shame. Feeling ashamed sometimes in English means like kukucha, as what we use for kukucha, but it's not what I mean here. Yeah, like feeling guilty. That's more like kukucha. Here is good mental states, hiri, which is like shrinking away from that akusala. Okay? especially with regard to the good results of akusala. Okay?
This is before committing akusala karma.
Yes. Yeah. You should develop that with regard to these good results. You understand? If you don't have enough hiri, you will engage in akusala karmas because of these good results. You understand? So hiri will protect you. Hiri. But with regard to the bad results of akusala, for example, think of going to prison, being criticized, or being killed by someone, bad results of doing akusala, right? So with regard to those bad things, you should develop ottapa, yes. Ottapa is fear of the bad results of akusala, yes. It's a type of dread, a type of moral dread. Sometimes it's translated as moral dread. Okay? It's not fear as dosa. It's fear, it's a wholesome fear. So if you tell a virtuous person to go and kill or steal, he shrinks away from that action. He feels ashamed, he feels disgusted about such things. Do you understand? So that's the hiri and ottapa. Okay? Or if you are, for example, in public and you do something unwholesome, something bad, a person more virtuous will feel ashamed of doing that. If somebody is looking, or if some others may know what you have done, you will feel a certain shame, right? So that shame protects you from that akusala if it's strong enough, right? Hiri and ottapa, no? Okay, about kusala karmas, sometimes kusala karmas lead to bad results. For example, you want to ordain as a monk, but then maybe you have to go to another country, and then there are disadvantages. Sometimes maybe, I don't know, the food is not okay for you, you get sick, the monastery is very hot, and right? Or some people criticize you. For example, I've been criticized, for example, for becoming a monk. People who don't understand, for example, they criticize. Or they, I don't know, any bad thing that may happen because of doing something kusala. For example, I want to meditate. Many times, for example, the bodhisattva wants to offer his eyes, for example. People criticize him, they get angry. Or he wants to renounce the world. People get very sad. There are sometimes some bad results of doing good things, right? Yeah. So what should we do about those bad results? What should we do? What is the attitude we should have towards bad results of kusala karma? Bad consequences of kusala karma. No, you should be patient. Yeah. Kanti. Not metta, because metta is only towards beings, living beings. When people hurt you, then you should develop metta, yes. But here is with regard to any bad results. People criticizing you for meditating or for having given something. For example, sometimes you give something, people may criticize you, right? Things like that, okay? Or you're meditating, you feel uncomfortable, you feel hungry, things like that, okay? Disadvantages or bad consequences of good actions. So you should be patient with that. What about the good results? Present good results of kusala karmas. Huh? Huh?
It's bring happiness.
Yeah, you get some happiness, you feel more peaceful. What else? You also become healthier when you meditate and you live. Usually you eat less, more concentration, so more peaceful mind. Sometimes people praise you, people pay respect.
More safety.
Or you get requisites, people follow you, but they pay more attention to what you're saying, things like that, right? Good results. Huh? Apamada? Okay, yes, you develop your own qualities, right? More safety? Okay, more safety.
Yeah, we don't dangerous from car when we drive.
Yes, less dangerous, I think. Sometimes monks are killed, but anyone alive can die, right? Overall, we live less in conflict. We are less in conflict. We have less stress. No wife to stress you out. No children to stress you out. No jobs to stress you out. Right? Sometimes another monk stresses you out, but it can happen, right? Anyways, so what should we do? What should we think? Or what is the attitude we should have towards these good results? What do you think? Good results of kusala. Should we have vidya? Panya? Okay, could be. But what is given is piti. You should be happy about these good results. Right? Not being patient with these good results. It's not about being patient, right? You should be happy about them. Yeah. But you should not be happy about the good results of akusala kamma. Understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I think no need to develop, but naturally they happen.
Yeah. You develop means you rejoice. You are happy with those good results, and that helps you keep doing kusala. You know, after pabaja, the second most difficult thing is rejoicing in your practice. It's not automatic. Sometimes you're doing kusalas, but sometimes you're not happy. Your mind wants to go to the akusala, for example. So you should develop this happiness towards the good things of the kusala, good results of the kusala.
Buddha mentioned that he could not develop, even he has developed his mind about dukkha khanda, this is mass of suffering, but he was not rejoicing. Unless he was rejoicing, he was not able to claim that I have rejoiced.
I have rejoiced. In what?
In that mass of suffering, yes, he has this one, this is mass of suffering.
Yeah, this is a mass of suffering, but he still has he still rejoices in this suffering. No.
He has not pleasant feeling.
No pleasant feeling.
Yes, even before his time in Bodhisattva.
As a bodhisattva.
But when he start dhyana practice, then he start rejoicing, and he's claimed that he is rejoicing at that time, and he prays monks to rejoice in dhyana.
The jhana of happiness, right? Yeah, so for some period the bodhisattva was, let's say, afraid of the happiness of the jhanas, right? Sometimes when they are looking for the way to enlightenment, sometimes they think the happiness is dangerous because maybe happiness leads to attachment, right? To some extent it's correct, but this happiness of the jhana, dissociated from the kama raga, from raga in general, is a good spiritual happiness that can help you, right? So at that time he was understanding that, right? But for some time he felt like, oh, this happiness is dangerous, so he was avoiding it, right? Yeah. Okay, then the anagata bhumi, we have akusala kamas. Akusala kamas in the anagata bhumi only lead to bad results. And kusala kama in the anagata bhumi only leads to good results. Okay? So this is the difference between Pachupana and Anagata bhumi. Now we have 4 types of karma. 4 types of karma, so they are the karma chatukas. 4, actually not 4 types of karma, no? 4 tetrads. 4 tetrads of karma. tetrads. Tetrads is chatuka. Chatuka. So we have the first tetrad, second tetrad, third tetrad, fourth tetrad. Chatukas, okay? Chatukas. The first is based on Kiccha Kamma Chatuka. Kiccha Kamma Chatuka. This is the tetrad of Kamma according to function. Then we have Pakadana, Pariyaya, Kamma Chatuka. We have Paka, Kala, Kamma Chatuka, and Paka, Thana, Kamma Chatuka. Okay. So first we take Kamma. Kamma is one according to function, right? What is Chetana, right? Is that force behind the action. Sometimes we may say, we call it intention, or a good word is volition. Yeah, it's not a very common word, but we use it in Abhidhamma, in Dhamma in general. So Kamma is the volition. Let's put over here. Kamma. Kamma is volition. Kamma. Volition. You can check the dictionary, but is this volition is like that intention in the mind to do the action. So when you're doing an action, for example, you're killing, in your mind there is this intention to do that. That intention is a certain force, pushing all the chittasikas and producing the chitta jarupas to do that. So that force leading everything towards that action is the chetana. Okay? That force in the mind. So it is particularly strong when you're actually doing an action. Strong action, no? So volition. So we take volition, which is one, and we classify it into 4 groups of 4. 4 tetrads. Right? 4 groups of 4. So one is based on function, the function of the Kamma. The other is the order in which it gives result. The other is when it gives result and where it gives result. You see? So here, let's put here function. According to function. This is according to order, or let's say priority. Priority, you know this word, priority. Priority. According to priority to give results. The third one is according to when it gives results. When it gives results. And where it gives results. Okay. 4 Kamma Chatuka. So each of these is 4. So altogether we have 16 types of Kamma over here. Yeah, 16 types of Kamma over here. Then there is more types of Kamma actually. For example, Dvihetuka Kamma, Tihetuka Kamma, right? Remember these? So these are not in these. Yeah. Later. So these are 16, okay? But it doesn't include all types of Kamma. There are some other classifications, I think, of Kamma. Okay? So now our time is up, you see? 4:30, sharp. So next Saturday, I have to prepare myself. This lesson, I think I kind of know. I studied before coming here today, but I still need to study what comes later. And then I'll try to finish next day. Okay, maybe one more Saturday. Yeah, we should try to finish it soon, right? It's better. But we cannot do more than 3 hours, like, right? No? Okay, I'll try to finish next Saturday. Do you prefer in the morning or in the afternoon? Ah, yes, Bhante Kusala, also Kusala in the morning, so we cannot do in the morning. So then afternoon, okay? Let's finish. Buddha sasanam chiranti thatu, Buddha sasanam chiranti thatu, Buddha sasanam chiranti thatu.